Cool. Well, it is 10 o'clock Pacific time, so we're ready to rock. Yeah, welcome to people all across North America. As we move into the on season for many landscaping construction companies, we are bringing you something important today. We're going to be talking about growing your own food, which is something we should all get behind. And more importantly, how to make it an attractive business proposition to increase your revenue, profit, and impact as a landscaping company. So, as well as myself and Wes, we have our other landscaper marketing partners, Ira and Sasha, on today's call. How's it going, everyone?
Yeah, very good. Looking forward to it, man.
Awesome. All right, let's get going. So, today's webinar is called Self-Watering Gardens, the Ultimate Upsell, Grow Revenue While Growing Food. And here's a little introduction to Wes. So, this is Wes Hooper, co-founder, CEO, product designer at LifeSpace Gardens and Garden Wells. You're looking very sharp there, Wes.
A couple pounds lighter there too, I think.
Awesome. So here's some information about Wes. So over the last 10 years, Wes has built, planned, or been part of the construction of over 3,000 urban vegetable gardens. With a dedicated focus on local food, water, sustainability, and food security, he specializes in helping people balance modern lifestyles with the challenge of growing food in urban environments. He is the inventor and patent holder of an innovative self-watering system that combines hydroponic principles with traditional organic growing techniques. He was also the recipient of the 2016 North Vancouver Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Oh, 10 years ago, aren't you still young, Wes?
Depends on the day, man.
So LifeSpace Gardens can be found on rooftops, balconies, residential yards, schools, and public spaces across southwestern BC and beyond. Anything I missed out there, Wes, about you?
Well, you know what? We actually just won a sustainability award from Buildex recently, so you can add that one to the accolades.
Oh, nice, nice. That sounds awesome. Well, congrats on all the progress, and we're very lucky to have you as a guest because you're very engaging, you're very knowledgeable, and you're also doing something really important. So it's kind of hits all the spots.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, cool. All right, here's what we're going to be doing in this episode. So we've done the welcome, meet the guest. There's a little bit about us, landscaper marketing powered by North Shore Digital. Then we got some audience questions, just so that Wes can frame his interesting walkthrough and demo to best serve the interests of the people on the call. We'll find out a little bit about you with two questions. We're going to go through a little bit about the market opportunities. So what are edible gardens? What solution does LifeSpace Gardens provide for you? And then it's all over to Wes. So he's going to do a live product walkthrough. He's going to talk to you about a great opportunity on the Certified Installer program. He's going to show a little bit about a case study with Great Canadian Landscaping, a little bit about revenues, anything that comes up with challenges and solutions, and please come forward with any Q&A. So any questions you have, we're going to put them into the webinars as they come in and they fit what Wes is showing. And then finally, we'll just show you a little bit about the landscaper marketing program and what we do for our landscaper clients. Yeah, so if you see in the webinar, the question section, just send a question as you think of them. Anything else to add, Wes, to make this a fun presentation?
No, I think that sounds great. And I'd just like to add, I'm very happy to be interrupted. I love answering questions on the fly. So guys, please feel free.
Awesome. Okay, so about us. So we are landscaper marketing powered by North Shore Digital. Our mission is to help 100 companies grow their revenue, profit, and impact. We are deep rooted in the green industry, so we're a member of the BC Landscape and Nursery Association, as well as the Canadian Nursery Landscape Association. We are a BBB A+ rated business, as well as a Google Premier partner and a Cloudflare and Cloudways agency partner. So we do help landscapers coast to coast in Canada and the US, over 30 of them. We run campaigns for landscaping companies that are design, build, construction focused, as well as maintenance on both the residential and commercial side. And as you can tell by today, we are the host of the Landscaper Marketing Webinar Series. This is number 7. You can find all our past webinars, including highlighted segments, at our website, landscaper-marketing.ca, or on our YouTube channel. This includes the last one, which has Romex's playbook on how they generated 22 million views on Instagram. Go check out the resources when you can. And this infographic is just a little taster of how we work. So this is how the landscaper marketing machine, your strategy on how to mow down the competition, and to receive an online growth plan and complimentary consultation, stay tuned at the end of the presentation. Okay, drum roll please. Over to Ira for the poll. If you can please answer his questions, go for it.
Alrighty, we got a poll coming up here. So let's launch this. All right, so everybody should be seeing some questions on their screen. The first one, what best describes your company? So are you residential design build, residential maintenance, commercial maintenance, commercial construction, a mix of residential and commercial? Are you a landscape designer, architect, or are you a supplier or manufacturer? If you're other as well, that's kind of a catch-all if you're not any of those things. So we'll give, how much time do we want to give here? I see some comments on the chat. Somebody says garden bed specialist. So you're in the right place. Yeah, so throw out a chat as well if you're something that doesn't quite fit in the box here.
And there's 2 questions, yeah? Did you read the second question?
Oh, second question lumped in. Do you currently offer edible gardens to your clients? Okay, so I see a lot of people answering. Another chat, permaculture and garden designer. Awesome.
Nice.
And yeah, lots of people filling out this one. Do you currently offer edible gardens to your clients? Yes, regularly. Yes, occasionally. No, but clients ask about it. And no, we've never offered them. So
cool. Anything else you want to find out about the audience? No, I think that's good. All right, and people are still joining us, so if you have questions, just please put it in the chat. Okay, we'll keep moving through because we want to get to the tasty bit, which is where Wes takes over. Okay, a little bit now about the market opportunity. So, edible gardens, what's the deal? So here are a few stats around edible gardens and the market trend and why they are increasingly important. I mean, not to mention what's happening in the news right now. Food security is in everybody's thoughts right now, or should be. And if you can become more self-reliant and sustainable at home, it's obviously a big win. But here are 4 main reasons why edible gardens are a big deal. 1, demand is mainstream, not niche. So 61% of Canadian households grow food, herbs, or flowers at home. And that was Stats Can statistic from 2021. So it's only probably grown since then. Nearly 3 in 4 US adults have gardened in their lifetime. Okay. Community gardens are expanding in parks and municipalities, and clients are already familiar with this concept, so it's not really a hard sell for you. Number 2 is economic pressure is driving interest. So according to Canada Food Price Report 2026, 4 to 6% increase in projected food prices. Wes is laughing here because he's probably got all the up-to-date info here.
I was laughing at that and one of the comments that came in the chat about mowing down the competition, if the competition's also in the chat.
that was a great question. I was going to save that for the end, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Okay, and then the USDA forecasts continued US food prices increase. So growing food isn't just trendy, it's financially rational. Number 3, sustainability is now a purchasing driver. So urban agriculture is linked to climate resilience, water stewardship, local food systems. So edible landscaping aligns with all these priorities. And then 4, design is evolving towards foodscaping. So edible landscaping listed as a 2026 garden trend on Homes and Gardens. The integration of edibles into ornamental design is growing. And so it can be positioned as a premium aesthetic feature that is actually practical, not just an afterthought. Okay, and how do LifeSpace Gardens provide a solution here? They have over 3,000 urban edible gardens installed, which includes many residential properties, rooftops, balconies, schools, municipal projects, public spaces. And there's some notable projects in the Lower Mainland here, Science World, Lower Lonsdale Garden District. In the city of Victoria, you'll find their planters all around the town in the Food Eco District. The City of North Vancouver Open Streets Project. They had a patented self-watering system, as we mentioned in the intro to Wes. It's built for real-world homeowners, but they work with landscapers, architects, builders, municipalities, and schools. Anything you'd like to add to this, Wes?
You know, maybe we'll see how the presentation goes.
Awesome. 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 So this is the last slide before we switch to you. So get ready, everyone. As we mentioned before, why is this trend growing? So food insecurity, urban densification, sustainability demand, rising food prices, clients wanting purpose-driven spaces. And up to now, there are some reasons why landscapers might be avoiding veggie gardens, because it's another product that you'd have to try and sell, but why you are wrong. And here are some common things that come up when you're thinking about obstacles to selling them. So maybe they're too much maintenance, maybe clients won't take care of them, margins are low, maybe, well, we'll find out. They're not premium, we're going to find out that's not true. And they complicate design. We're going to also look at why that's not true as well. So maybe just think about those things as well, Wes, as you take us on your showcase, and think about how you answer those questions, which I'm sure you do. Cool. Let's switch now. So I stop my share, and if you just bear with me as we spotlight Wes. So let's spotlight for everyone. Over to you.
Ready to rock? Awesome. Okay, well, thanks for having me again here, Andrew. I figured I'd start with just kind of taking you guys back, doing like a little brief origin story. Andrew, if I start trailing on, please feel free to interrupt. But, you know, we founded LifeSpace in 2012, but realistically, I've been working on this for the last 15 years. And when we started, it really came from this impetus. I was in university at the time, and I saw this clip of these farmers in hazmat suits just spraying chemicals all over these food crops. And this is at the same point that Monsanto was launching their Roundup Ready corn. And you know, I saw these clips, and I couldn't believe that was kind of like how we grew our own food, and that was really the beginning of LifeSpace, was realizing that that's a really big issue, and what can we do to change it. And then when I started really thinking about it and showing these pictures to people, and people not really thinking it's a big deal, it made me realize how disconnected a lot of us have become, and people just weren't growing food at home. And so when I started asking about that, I found kind of the really common objections and the really common problems is almost everybody loves the idea of growing their own food, and almost everybody has tried. But a lot of people have had a very similar experience where they've started growing something. You know, they've got some tomatoes in a pot, everything's going really, really well, and then they go away for a long weekend in July and forget to water and come back and everything is dead. And growing your own food is like, it's interesting. It's very like fundamental. It's like it hits you deep down, right? And so there's a lot of meaning behind it. And so when someone fails, right, and they just forget to water, they often internalize that, and they think, oh, I've got a brown thumb, I got a black thumb, I can't grow anything. It's me, right? But it's not. It's they just forgot to water. And so that was really the biggest thing, is like, if we can figure out how to make watering easy and intuitive, we're going to be able to reach, you know, thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of more people. and really make growing your own food an easy way to fit into your lifestyle. And so what we did then is we looked at kind of like how nature does it, right? And so where are the most abundant places in nature, and how are they irrigated? And very rarely are those places like fully reliant upon rain. More often than not, it's like the river deltas, et cetera, where you get that real abundance. And what's happening there is the water is actually coming from the reservoir, and it's kind of going in underneath the topsoil, and it's coming from the bottom up. And that's why you can go around in drought areas, or like in the summer when there's drought going on and everything's brown and dead, but you go to the rivers and all the trees around the rivers are still green and abundant. And so that's essentially what we created with our garden well system. It's a modular system that clicks together by the square foot, and we install it in all of our gardens. And so that's the fundamental, that's like the foundation of LifeSpace is the garden well system, and that self-watering. Then on top of that, we layer on like a very high degree of craftsmanship, right? So the other objection for growing food, especially on like high-end landscapes, is so often this like idea of the veggie garden is this like sort of like broken down, dilapidated DIY box that, you kind of put in the back corner, and yeah, maybe you grow some kale, but it's mostly weeds, right? And so like in the mind, like the design aesthetic is very, very low. And so we really wanted to turn that on its head, and make the veggie garden like the absolute star of the show. And so that's really what we started doing 12, 13, 14 years ago, were these residential installations where we would build these very beautiful gardens, and make it the feature of that landscape. And then from there, we launched our shop. We started like our in-house manufacturing, and then we started working with a lot of landscape architects and designers, and moved then into like the commercial space quite a bit. So having our gardens like specified on commercial projects. Maybe Omid, if you want to just scroll down here, we can get some of those commercial projects up on the screen. If you go on LifeSpace on our website, we have all of this stuff broken down. I didn't get to see the poll, so I didn't see how many commercial guys are on there. But we work with landscape architects to do like large scale community gardens, et cetera. And so that's been a big focus of us for, the last 5 or 6 years. But in doing so, we've also scaled back our installation services, and we've been partnering a lot with like high-end residential landscapers, both locally here in Vancouver, across Canada, and then across down into the States. And so we've launched our certified partnership program, where we have multiple tiers of installer levels. And yeah, I think that's like a good summary so far. Andrew, am I on track with what you're expecting?
Yeah, this is great. Keep going.
Nice, man. Okay, well, we're in the shop right now, and so I've got one of our gardens just kind of down right here behind me. So I'm just going to adjust the camera so you guys can all take a look. And please, like anyone in the webinar, like if you guys got any questions at any point, just please fire away. So I'm going to show you guys one of our elevated heirloom gardens. This one's on wheels. So I'm just going to adjust the camera here, scroll down a little bit so you can see it. Maybe not the best angle, but yeah, you can see this guy here. Let's try that again a little bit here. Let me tilt it up so you can kind of see the craftsmanship, right? So this one here we do with like a fair degree of craftsmanship. Like look at that beautiful cedar in there. And then on the inside, this is our garden well system. Here we've got the water stem. This allows us to fill right to the reservoir. So you fill up in this tube right there. Let's see, you fill up right there, right? And then you got the hummingbird that floats up and down, tells you how much water is in your garden. But I'll take out these garden wells so you guys can kind of see how they look. Right? So you see here, after we build, can you tilt the camera up just a little bit on it? Yeah, awesome, great. So after we build the gardens, we line the inside with our food safe waterproof liner. This is what creates essentially creates the reservoir. And it also completely protects the woodwork from the inside out. So using this system, we've got gardens now that are over a decade old, and like the wood is still as good as new. In fact, I just shot some content that I'm going to be putting up on our YouTube channel fairly soon about deconstructing a 10-year-old garden, just so everyone can see the level of craftsmanship and the quality of the wood that remains. Because when you protect the wood from the inside out, there's nowhere where like the soil and the water comes in contact, so you're not getting any rot. And you build a garden really well and you protect it from that rot, and essentially it's going to last forever. So Yeah, we've got gardens now that are 15 years old. They're still growing. And yeah, this one that I deconstructed that's 10 years old, like I pulled the liner back and the wood on the inside like still looks brand new. If I were to take an orbital and sand the outside, restain it, it would still look like pretty much perfect. So yeah, liner goes in. Then what we do is we click together our garden wells. So these garden wells here are clicked together by the square foot. This one here forms a 2 foot by 4 foot grid. Then that just slides in like so, and creates the reservoir. What do we got here? Is the liner food safe? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're up here in North Vancouver, and when we were creating this whole system, the garden wells themselves are made out of a food safe polypropylene, and so it's the same plastic that you use in like medical instruments and such. And then when we were having the liner engineered, we worked with a local company that does local manufacturing up here, and it's a food safe ethylene, polyethylene. So both like really, really high quality plastics. You know, I've got mixed thoughts on plastics myself. I'm very much, I think single use plastics are horrible, and I'm off. Yeah, exactly. Still plastic, right? So I think it's a very difficult thing to avoid plastic in the horticulture industry. I'm really hoping the guys that are working on these hemp plastics, and I'm hoping that we can have some really interesting solutions that come down the pipeline. But it's right now, the way I look at it is, this plastic it's food safe, it's non-leaching, it's of a quality that's designed to last a lifetime. So it's not like it's single use and disposable. But very, very also interested in the R&D in this space and hoping that some of these plant and hemp-based plastics, hemp is the one I'm very excited for, can start creating some materials that can replace the petroleum-based plastics. So the people that are concerned and are saying in there, it's something that we at LifeSpace, it's also on our R&D board. But as of right now, this is what it's designed to last. And so that's the way that we think about it. It is a permanent solution, and it's very effective, right? And so what's this balance? It's like on one hand you have this plastic system, but on the other hand, this system also opens the door for thousands and hundreds of thousands of people to grow their own food more sustainably, right? So using this system, you're conserving about 80% of the water compared to traditional irrigation systems, which are also plastic. So yeah, without going further into that, it is a concern. It is on our R&D board, and we justify it by having an amazing system that helps a lot of people save water and grow their own food. So there's that. Did that answer some of the concerns in there? I hope so.
Yeah, and just so people know, the audience can't see the questions coming in, but we can. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so it's good if we can kind of repeat the questions, maybe just to give people
Gotcha.
context.
Yeah. Okay. And yes, Paulo, we do sell the garden well separately, and I'll get into that shortly. Where was I going with this? Where are my notes here?
What
Yeah,
is the patent for, Wes?
so the patent is on the garden well self-watering system, and then we do have design patents on. We have a utility patent on the garden well system, and then we have design patents on some of the gardens as well too. Yeah, so I guess to get kind of back on track, the modular system clicks together by the square foot. The liner ships perfectly cut and folded to size, which is like a huge advantage versus some of the DIY options. So you get like the liner fits in like origami, or the garden ships fully assembled. So it's like a super easy solution. And so we've had a lot of success with other professionals that have been using this, both in like the architecture and design space, and then also residential design build, residential landscapers, and even residential maintenance companies have had a lot of success installing these and selling them to their clientele. So what do you think, Andrew? Is that a good time to kind of get into the certified installer program?
Yeah, I think so. Sasha, anything from you? Do you have any questions? He's got it.
I think when we get to the actual product section, I'm curious about unless you want to address this now as so some of our attendees are probably landscapers and they can build their own planters sort of thing. What is the benefit? Like, why would they want to then go with you if they can build this themselves?
No, that's a great question. And in fact, a lot of the landscapers that we do work with currently that are part of like our certified installer program, traditionally they had built their own garden beds. But I think a lot of it comes down to kind of opportunity cost, right? So, if the foundation of your business really is already building raised beds, then I can see you being very interested in the garden well system to be able to install sub irrigation in all your raised beds. But a lot of the companies that we work with, they just recognize that the margin that they make on our gardens and the level of quality that is delivered to their clientele and the simplicity and timeliness of the installation. Like we've got guys that are, when our gardens show up, on a pallet and they do the installation, they're installing all the gardens in like a couple hours, which would have, taken their site carpenter, like a week to build on site. And so you really get to streamline a lot of these installations and deliver like a very, very high quality product. And it's because, we've got professionals in the shop that are making this. It's like, you guys know, it's when you build something in a controlled environment with all the right tools, you can just achieve a level of quality that's higher than what you can do on site. And so, yeah, we just deliver like a very, very high quality product that is like wowing for the customer, right? And so often it'll be like one day you'll just have this like blank slate of like, landscaped area where there's nothing there. And then in one single day, you're installing like 12 raised beds filled with soil planted up with veggies. And it's just like, boom. And you just get this wow moment with the clients. And it's just, yeah, it's amazing.
And
So
so Wes, basically, one of the value propositions is then for landscapers, they can keep their carpenter busy on higher profit projects like decks and bigger projects, and then use your product as the high-end solution instead of having to build their own. That's how
yeah,
sort of, yeah,
that's precisely it, right? And and you can move and you can do more projects in the year, right? So
yeah.
yeah, it's you can really do that. You can keep your high wage labor guys busy doing those pergolas, the decks, the fences, etc., and then also provide an extremely high quality product very simply to the homeowner and keep those projects moving.
Perfect.
So it's built as like a really nice add-on, whether you're after the garden wells or the full system, and you make it modular, yeah. So those are you can make them to whatever size you want, yeah. The garden wells.
Yeah. So everything like the gardens are like the gardens we can do pretty much any shape or size. Like the most popular sizes, I would really say, like 3x6, 3 foot by 6 foot has been very popular the last couple of years. We're shipping. Like right now. The shop is working on 4 3x6 artifacts, 2 2x4 heirlooms, and a couple of lowriders that we're shipping to New Jersey. And I just saw a question come up in the chat there that the question of shipping must be addressed. And yeah, we ship across North America all the time, and so all of our gardens are generally just like palletized up. Oh, another question came in. 3 feet wide is the max for ease of access to the center of the bed. Yes, I absolutely agree. I think 4 feet is too wide, even though a lot of people still want 4x4 and 4x8 gardens. I do agree that 3 feet wide is the ultimate width. But yeah, shipping's not an issue. We are in Canada. We ship to the States all the time. We're not generally affected by tariffs because we are 100% a product of Canada, so we fall under CUSMA. So shipping has been very easy with us, and we love our American partners as well too, and work very well with them. So yeah, shipping's been a big part of the business over the last several years. Was
Um,
that a direct answer to your question? Whoever was asking that? Well, we'll see if the answer
Yeah,
comes up.
I think that was a good answer.
Yeah,
and I see
cool.
Nick has raised his hand. So that was the person who asked the question.
Awesome. And I'm happy if you have anything specific, Nick, I'm happy to chat with you after the webinar as well too. Yeah, should we get into the certified installer? Oh, special request or add-on for trellises? Yeah, we do trellises as well too. So if the trellises ship, how much per square feet? We're getting hit hard. Yeah. Maybe I think we'll handle some of the pricing stuff at the end there because it does depend on what tier you are and if you're part of the certified installer program or not. So maybe I'll just get into that real quick and that maybe you can provide some context
And
for
anything
some of the.
people don't hear answered, I'm recording the questions, so I'll revisit those at the end as well. So if your question's been missed just because we're getting into the flow of things, anyone will come back to that as well. So
Awesome. Okay, so I guess it was about 3 years ago now where we sort of soft launched our certified installer program. This is when we made a real concerted effort to like no longer do residential installations ourselves and to partner with like local landscapers, both here in Vancouver and then across Canada, Edmonton, Toronto, etc. And so we sort of soft launched this and had just tremendous success. And that has formed like the foundation of our certified installer program, which we then improved upon last year, and now this year have really launched in force. And so on our website here, I hope you guys can see a little bit of it. You don't need to really read the words. I'm just going to walk you through. Yeah, this is the value proposition is essentially what we've been talking about, right? Help your clients save water, grow more food with beautiful gardens that become the highlight of any landscape. So we go through here, differentiation. We have really two things that I think for you guys as a business that really kind of hit home runs. Number one, it's kind of the ultimate upsell, right? It's very easy if you're on a landscaping project to like, hey guys, do you guys want to start growing your own food? We've got these epic veggie gardens. Like no one's going to be upset with that proposition, right? And so you generally get that's received very, very well. The other aspect is if you are a certified installer, you get that differentiation, right? So we've got partners up here. You know, they're often involved in projects that are north of $100,000, projects where you're going to have multiple organizations coming in to put a bid together. And LifeSpace Gardens has proven to be a differentiator, right? So it's like going with that certified installer means you get these awesome self-watering gardens and this food growing system. Okay, we're going with those guys. And so we've leaned into that even harder, and I'm going to show you some of that with some of these tiers here. So those are really our two big aspects, right? You get that differentiation and that upsell. And so what we've got is we've kind of got our three tiers of the partnership program. We've got our foundation, right? And so the foundation is for the people that just want they want to sell LifeSpace Gardens. So they get an increased discount on their garden. They get one of our high-rise gardens, custom laser engraved with their logo on the face of the box. They get like our assortment of marketing materials, etc. And for them, it's just that like awesome value add to their project. And there's no other strings attached. So we've got a lot of people in the foundation level. On the second level, on the growth plan, this is where things get really exciting. This is when we start doing some really fun marketing stuff. So not only do you get everything in the foundation, but you also get like personalized branded material, right? So I'll show you here. So Great Canadian Landscaping is one of our certified installers. And so they get custom branded material. Here's like our brochure that you get. So this shows you how awesome the self-watering gardens are. Hits all like the 10 things that are great about it. And on the back, you get like a little breakdown of all the different product lines, etc. And so what happens here is with this brochure, the customer can scan this QR code or visit the website, and it goes directly to a personalized landing page on our website here. So we'll pull up Chris's from Great Canadian. Nope, Chris is from Great Canadian. Chris's landing page. Oh, you can just pull it up right here. So Omed's kind of navigating the website here. So as you can see, we've got the different certified installers represented on the map in different ways. So people, it doesn't matter if you're coming across from North America or from wherever you are in North America, you can find the closest certified installer in your area. You see we've got two in Vancouver here. Chris is one of the big ones. And so you go to the map, you can go to book a consultation. Right, and so this is the landing page that's connected on all the brochures, right? It's a personalized landing page hosted on the LifeSpace website, and it's all featured around Great Canadian. So it explains and this is for like people that are just like discovering LifeSpace for the first time. So there's some stuff about LifeSpace, the self-watering advantage. We got some cool transformation shots that they've done. Like this is a really cool before and after. One of my favorites, right? So you got the weedy front yard here transformed into like, a pretty epic, self-watering garden on the front yard. So this is a really cool installation. Then you scroll down and then you can book a consultation directly with Chris right on this landing page. Once someone does that, we send that client a pre-consultation form with all like the key questions to ask prior to the consultation. And it really becomes a very high converting consultation. Last year, they were converting at over 95%. So like super, once someone books this consultation here, you pretty much got the project in the bag. The other added benefit to it, we're kind of blurring the growth and the growth plus right now, but the other added benefit to it, if you keep scrolling down here, here's just some more like sort of just portfolio projects. Keep going down. We then also have, there's an e-commerce element to this as well too, right? So we sell a lot of our patio planters directly online. And with this program, if you become part of like the growth portion, you actually make a percentage on any e-commerce purchases that come from your landing page, right? So if you're giving out all these brochures at like, you know, a trade show, etc., even if someone comes and they may not, maybe they don't want the whole consultation, maybe they just want to transform their balcony, you make a percentage on any purchase that comes through, and it's all tracked through your unique link or the QR code down there. So we offer a bunch of that in the growth package. We also offer this, and this is actually my favorite component, to be honest. So this is really for the differentiation. This is for you guys that are out there. You're bidding on those projects that are, you know, 100 grand plus, and you're going up against competition. This is like the welcome gift for your clients, right? So you show up to the consultation with the homeowners, etc. First thing is you hand them your seed box gift, your LifeSpace co-branded seed box gift. So you get your logo laser engraved right there. So the customer opens up the box, right? They get your co-branded marketing material with the brochure that's got all the LifeSpace awesomeness in there. They also get this full season garden guide and this collection of amazing veggie seeds. All right. So inside this garden guide is like a full season walkthrough. We actually ship this garden guide out with all of our gardens as well. But in the seed box, it gives you like a full breakdown of like the LifeSpace Advantage, the LifeSpace Promise, which is essentially, if you follow the steps in here, you will have success, and we guarantee it. Shows you how to like some install steps, how to find the right and mix the right soil. We're really big on living soil, get the worms in the gardens. The worms are the magic. Then we walk you through the steps of like seed starting, transplanting, and then like all the stuff for like all the different veggies, right? So all the steps you need to grow all the veggies that are in this collection. And then we walk you through month by month. And if you see here on the bottom is a QR code for every month, you scan that, it takes you right to a landing page on our website, which breaks down that month in total. You know, at LifeSpace, you know, our three real pillars are the self-watering sub-irrigation, the dedication to quality, and the dedication to success. And so for us, this is that big success element. You know, we're very committed to success at every level, right? We want our team in here to be successful. We want you guys as partners to be successful. And I think most importantly, we want that home gardener to be successful, because if they're successful, everyone else is going to be successful. And this knowledge, along with the convenience of the sub-irrigation, is really the magic. And so, yeah, we break down each month. We also do an indication of how much you're going to have to water that month. Of course, this is based on weather and location. But for example, like up here in Vancouver, you know, the reservoirs get filled about 8 to 12 times a year. So super convenient. And like generally speaking, you know, if anyone down there is from like Southern California, you know, anytime what's 25 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Oh man.
80? Right, 80 is it? I normally, oh no, don't you double it and then add 30, something like that?
Something.
Yeah.
Anyways, whenever it's hot down there, it's essentially fill the reservoir up once a week, right? And realistically, it's as simple here, like we've even got them inside on our indoor planters, right? It's really as simple as just like checking the floating hummingbird, right? You see that? We got this planter's full. If it's empty, you just get the hose or the watering can, you fill up right down the watering stem. I think I saw a question that came in there that was, maybe I should read that back out, but it was, you know, what the best feature is for the homeowners. And honestly, it's split. It's like some customers, they see the quality and the aesthetics of our gardens, and they fall in love. Like it's the aesthetics, they just capture them. They don't really even like care about the self-watering system until they try it, then they figure out how awesome it is. But then the other ones, it's really just being able to create that routine and simplify the growing experience with the sub irrigation, right? Like realistically, it's like the guarantee of success. It's if you can come out and you can fill this reservoir once a week, you will have garden success guaranteed. And that resonates like deep down with a lot of people because, like I said at the beginning, most people have tried growing their own food and they failed. So when you create this foundation of success and then they achieve success, it's like, poof, game over, man. These guys are gardeners for life. And so really those two advantages, those are really the two aspects. It's just the aesthetics and how beautiful they look in the space. And then that confidence, right? That foundation of confidence that if I can do this one single step, which is just fill the reservoir, I'm going to grow my own food. Yes, you are. Right. And that opens a lot of doors. And then also people are like drought's crazy. Right. So, we've got areas that, they're essentially out of water. And so this system saves 80% of the water compared to top down drip irrigation because everything's protected from evaporation. There's no runoff. All the water gets collected in the reservoir and it's held below the soil so that the water has to first wick up into the soil before any evaporation. So it's just like super efficient and ideal for like very arid, hot areas where drought and water scarcity is like a really big issue.
Hey Wes, so you're talking about lifestyle here, and with that in mind, if somebody's who's a landscaper and they have a bread and butter already figured out, and they want to use your product, who gets excited in a home? Like, how do they, as far as selling, I want to address the selling aspect. Who gets excited about this in a home? What is the positioning? How do you position this?
So two questions came in there, really interesting ones at the same time. So one from you and one from the chat there. So I will say that when we're doing the consultations, when you're actually selling to the client, it is generally the wife that, it's funny. I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised, especially when we're doing the consultations, of who really gets excited about it. But generally speaking, if it's a family, it's the wife that insists upon it. But then it's the husband that falls in love with it. So it speaks, I think it speaks to the motherly instincts of providing for the kids. But then once the dads have that and they see the food growing and they see the family engaging with it, like they're the ones that maintain it. They're the ones that are doing the thing. And so yeah, it's the ladies that it appeals to at the beginning, but then it's the husbands that I think generally they really take the ownership for the long run. And of course, that's not completely true all the way across, but I would say generally speaking, that's probably pretty average. I wonder what we've got some other people in here that are into permaculture and raised beds. I wonder if they have the same experience.
I guess it's like connecting to the soil, yeah. It hits home for some people and growing your own food. And I guess affluence shouldn't come into it, but in terms of the landscaping companies we work with, the sort of family that is going to go after a 100K plus job
Yeah.
probably is a perfect match for your system, yeah. And this would appeal to them. So there's some good overlap in terms of target audience, I think.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true, and a lot of the target market that we've ended up with are really they're like the busy professionals. They're often it's like either both parents are working, or you've got full-time dad and like super busy stay-at-home mom, and life is very busy, and so it's being able to create that anchor day on like a Sunday where it's just like that's the day you go fill your reservoir. That's the day you open up your garden guide, you see what you got to do, etc. And so it can really fit into those like busy lifestyles. And then it's also great for urban environments as well too, right? Like it's if you're somewhat limited on space, you can put these on. You can landscape re-landscape the yard, put them on the yard, but you can also put them on like patios, rooftops, etc. So it does also open up like the different locations where you can grow as well too.
There's been
I
some
think
more questions coming in, and you might have seen them.
yeah. Yeah, I saw some questions around pricing there, and I think it's probably a good time to kind of go through what honestly is probably like our standard. It's funny, we do a lot of packages that are around like garden packages that are around like the 5 to 7,000, and then we do a lot of garden packages that are around like the like double the size, like the 15 to 20,000. And so it tends to be kind of in that little niche. We also do a bunch that are around like the, 2 to 3 grand as well too. But this one here is like a very standard package that we manufacture and supply for our partners. And so what I've broken out here is just a little project sort of case study that's built out around 3 of our 4x4 heirlooms. I know we had the person that's earlier that said that 3 foot is the ultimate width, and I do agree. However, for some reason, like 4 foot wide is just in people's minds, and so we build a lot of them. So the 4x4 heirloom with the trellises is a very popular set. And so the base price there, it's $14.60 per unit. You get the trellis add on there, which is $450 per trellis. You get the coastal finish. So all of this adds up to about $7,000. And then on that, you get about $1,000 margin on that one sale. So you get your 15% discount when you become one of our certified partners. But then for the upsell, you also get, all the additional landscaping that goes into it. You get like the site landscaping, the delivery, the installation, the premium living soil, the plants, and potentially the ongoing maintenance. So a lot of times, like this singular installation turns into like, about a $15,000 addition to an existing project. Of course, like that scales. We've got guys that are doing with LifeSpace Gardens. It's like a $30,000, a $40,000 component to the project. I think the biggest residential installation or the biggest residential project that we've ever supplied was like $140,000 worth of products. In there, we did do some pre-staining of like some larger sort of like trellis and pergola elements as well too. But yeah, I think that's just to give you an idea of where you can start and kind of where it can go to.
Awesome. You're covering all the bases here, Wes, and we're on track time-wise. Just want to maybe do the Q&A now for anything that we've missed for 5 minutes. Is that good?
Can I talk about one more thing that we're launching with Great Canadian this year? So Great Canadian was one of like the initial trial certified installers that we've been working with, and actually they've been buying our products for longer than that. And so this year we're doing a really cool initiative with them. And so we're doing this like awesome door hanger campaign. And so this is something that we're going to be offering as part of like the Growth Plus package as well too, going forward, where locally what we're going to be doing is delivering 1,500 of these door hangers. This is just a mock-up, guys. This isn't the actual one. The printing guy unfortunately didn't finish it in time for today. So I literally just printed this out from our printer. So it's excuse the low quality on it, but I think it delivers the same message, right? So we're giving out 1,500 of these door hangers with the proposition that says essentially, if success was guaranteed, would you grow your own food? So really interesting value proposition. You create a lot of curiosity in there. And on the front of that, you'll see is we've created like a mystery seat pack. Right. And so you're highly motivated to scan this QR code to figure out what's in that seed pack. And by chance, this QR code goes directly to Great Canadian's landing page where people can learn more about our value proposition and then book a consultation right through the LifeSpace website. So this is something that we're trialing right now. And then by the end of this year, we're going to have some pretty cool numbers on it. But, if anyone else that's in here that's really interested, we're already doing it with one other company as well, since I started talking about this. So we do have the capacity to do this with some other partners. So if anyone's interested, I think the return on investment here is going to be like super significant. And people are going, it's like, who doesn't like free seeds, Yeah, that's
cool.
something we're rolling out with the Growth Plus plan there. And then you'll see in the background here, I'm just scrolling through a bunch of like the sort of standard, essentially a bunch of standard installations that we've done with certified partners over the past couple of years.
You've got some really cool angles to your product, Wes. I love it. There's a lot of thought that's gone into it. So yeah.
It's been a slog, guys. But I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Ira, lots of comments, questions coming in. I'm sure you have a list of a few things to pick Wes's brain on.
Yeah, I've been
wheelchair accessibility garden. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
very
Ira.
cool. No, interrupt as much as you like. I've been amalgamating some of the questions people have been posting in the Q&A and the chat. So I'm just going to hit you kind of rapid fire here, Wes, and then
Yeah,
you can answer as
great.
many as you like and however you like, or defer to later in the presentation. Can reservoir panels stack for double the water reservoir?
Yes, yes, they can. So you can stack them. Too high is generally, theoretically, you could kind of go on forever. But the 6-inch water reservoir at the bottom is kind of ideal. You don't want to go too much beyond that because then you start losing the capillary draw. But if you're growing things like trees, like the double stack is really powerful for, if you're putting this in like a tree planter or like, something that is also like, drinks a lot of water, you can do that. The most popular application that we've done is really in for when someone's growing fruit trees specifically.
Awesome. How do we manage watering when it rains?
Great question. So essentially the gardens function as like a garden and rain barrel in one. So as the rain comes in, it goes to the soil, it gets collected in the reservoir, and then let me see if I can do this. There is an overflow that's built in to all the gardens. Yeah, there it is. So you can see that there. So that's the overflow. Any excess water, any and all the excess water will come out here. So you can actually connect a hose to it to control drainage, which is very popular for the commercial projects. But this ensures that the water never rises up above the garden wells to flood the soil. And it also ensures that there's always like a little air gap in between the water and the soil. So there's always an aeration level that gets down there.
Great.
I should also say at this point that it's very important that you install these level. As you know, water itself will self-level. In fact, that's how we gauge if something is level or not. So installing them level is really key to ensuring the self-watering system functioning properly. And here you can see on the background and on our website, all of our material, we have like a full breakdown of exactly how the reservoir system, how the garden well system works, and what like all the features, advantages, and benefits are.
Question about certification. There are two questions I'm combining here, but how do we become certified and what level of training do certified installers receive when they start offering this?
Yeah, great questions. So you can go online. We have a landing page online. Also, I'm happy to talk with anyone directly right after the presentation. But we have an application page online. It breaks down all the different tiers. You go to the bottom. You can fill out a form here. So that's kind of the application form. And then we've got like Mitchell and Josh, who are actually both in this webinar right now, who are kind of running our partnership program. So they'll reach out to you, help you find the right tier for your business and the right fit. And what was the second half of that question?
What level of training do
Oh,
certified
yeah,
installers
great.
receive?
Yeah, so right off the hop, we give you like fundamental training on the products themselves, how they work, how to do the installation, and then we're actually building out over this year. We're building out like a whole training structure, so you can go through. We're going to do stuff on like getting into the installation details, breaking out like a sales process, right? So give you training on like the sales process, how to get more conversions. A lot of that, especially, is focused around, where did I put it? Around our seed box gift and how that works with your consultations. You also get training on how to do consultations themselves. Like if you sign up for one of the growth packages, we train you on how to give those actual edible garden consultations. And so a lot of the training right now is one-on-one, but we're in the process of building out like a whole webinar library of resources for all of our partners.
Oh, amazing. How many more can I fire away here, Andrew? What's our
Um,
timeline looking at?
yeah, just with one eye on time, maybe one or two short ones, or yep.
Okay, this might be a longer one, but how long does installation take and what's the process there?
Honestly, it's installation is super fast, right? Most of a lot about choosing plants now. Oh, okay, we can get to that one too. So installation is a lot for our installers. Most of the work comes with like actual site preparation, right? So that comes with like, if you're, if you're doing like a pad of pavers or river rock or whatever, like leveling and prepping the site is like the bulk of the installation. Your LifeSpace Gardens will arrive on a pallet and you literally just pick them up, put them in place, do a little bit of final bit of the leveling, which we teach you how to do, and then it's just install the soil and plant it up. And so oftentimes, like for that 3 garden set, if you give yourself a day to do that installation, you'll be cruising and everyone will be happy.
Can I ask a quick question? Homeowners may ask the landscapers this because it's food that they're growing mostly. Rodents and rats that may come up, and I know that probably something that you guys often answer and have a quite know how to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, rodents and rats, I always say this. It's like, well, number one, like where I grew up personally, I'm in like a very urban area and there's like rat issues like for all my neighbors. My thing is, I just don't let fruit fall on the ground and start rotting, right? If you start letting tomatoes drop or cucumbers drop, it's going to bring the rodents in. If you harvest those things before anything starts rotting, there's no real attractant that brings them there. With that being said, if you do have an issue, we do offer like essentially like rodent cages. I just don't find them very aesthetically pleasing, and so we don't have them on the website, mostly because we don't want to like we don't want to confuse people, right? And so if it is an issue, it is something that we do offer and something we can ship with your gardens. But if there's an uncertainty there, I always say just like solve it if it becomes an issue. I like having the abundance kind of like free and like growing, not kind of like caged up, right? So if you need the rodent cages, wonderful. Also, like a motion censored sprinkler aimed at your garden can go like a really long way as well too.
There was another question you were looking at, Wes, a lot about choosing plants and having the right amount for crop for people.
Yeah. So right now, as part of like our pre-consultation form that we you can actually see it online. If you go on, you can check it out and fill it out for free. We have it branded as like the cultivation quiz. A lot of that is about contextualizing what the client needs and what they expect out of their garden. And so that gives you like a really strong foundation for going into the consultation. You already know like the primary reason of why they're interested in growing their own food. You already know, how many people they're growing for. You already know like their favorite crops. And so it gives you like a very strong basis for going in there and really providing a solution that's really based around that food security, food sustainability, and that. And so, yeah, Omid's got this pulled up right here. And again, it's probably tough for you guys to read on the screen, but you can go on lifespacegardens.com and you can just search cultivation quiz. They fill that out either, we kind of offer that as for like a conversion point for people that are maybe not quite ready to book a consultation yet. So we receive that, help them answer some fundamental questions, and then like stick handle it and distribute it to our certified installers in their service area. But it's also something that we issue after every single consultation has been purchased, and the client fills that out prior to doing the consultation. Again, how would you say the benefit are for a designer and architect? Yeah, I mean, I think it's just for the designer and architect, you just get absolutely stunningly beautiful gardens that are extremely water efficient and like hammer all your sustainability metrics. And then you get really happy clients, right? Like we literally get clients that are so happy they cry, and it's amazing. So it's I think anytime you can do that for someone, it's a pretty cool thing. And growing your own food and empowering people to do that successfully, like it just, man, it hits the feels every time. It's a very amazing thing to be a part of and experience.
That's a great place to stop with the questions and answers. It's we'd love to go on all day, but time is important. And yeah, if anyone wants to connect with you after this, Wes, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, I mean, you can drop me a line at wes@lifespacegardens.com. We've also got Mitchell and Josh both in here. They're running our partnership program. Or you can just go explore the website, lifespacegardens.com, and just navigate through. There's a bunch of touch points, whether you're very interested in being part of this partnership program, or just fill out the contact form if you've got any questions. I'm also going to try and twist your arm there, Andy, for the attendees list and send over a little follow-up email to everyone.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Be our pleasure. Before everyone leaves,
I did that live, so he's got to do it.
Put the pressure on.
Yes. So just before everyone leaves, I do have a couple of slides to share. So this is about our own landscape and marketing program. So for any landscaping companies out there, it is the time of year where you should be looking at your marketing and filling out your lead pipeline so that you can generate the revenue so you can keep growing and sustaining your business. So a little bit of information about this. Three main reasons why landscapers work with us. Number one, they need more or they need better leads. Number two, they're not sure what they're getting from online. Online can be a bit of a black hole where you're not sure what is bringing you success. Well, we measure this. We tell you where your best leads are coming from and the ones that convert to revenue and proper customers. And then the third reason is we act as a guide for digital marketing. Digital marketing is getting very complex. For each different skill, you almost need a specialist. So working with a team like us and outsourcing it, we become a partner. We provide all that knowledge and information and help guide you through the choppy waters of digital marketing. We have the Landscaper Marketing Program, which is a holistic program. It includes strategy, monthly consultations, communication, email follow-up. We have our own LQ system where we'll actually qualify your leads and show you which are the best leads and where they're coming from. If it's possible, we can also do real ROI tracking. We integrate with your CRM system. So if you keep that up to date and you use something like LMN or Aspire, then we can help you out there. We do all the paid advertising, so on Google, but also Meta and LinkedIn, depending on where your target audience is. We do SEO, so local SEO, technical SEO, on-page SEO, off-page SEO, Google Business Profile. We also help with your content, so we do website updates. There's all the advanced call tracking, reporting, and analytics. And then we take care of your website. So website maintenance and managed hosting and security risk management. So it really does do everything you need it to grow your business online. Here's a special offer. So to webinar registrants and attendees, go to landscaper-marketing.ca, enter your details. You get a complimentary consultation with me. So you get a 30-minute discovery call. I then take the answers to some important questions. I go and do some online analysis of your presence and your goals and resources. I'll put together an online growth plan for you. So it will show you our key recommendations and what would be some of the solutions to some of your challenges. And we put that all together into a complimentary package for you. So no strings attached. Go to the website, sign up, and speak to me. Working with us, simple 3-step process. Number one, the discovery call. Number two, the online growth plan. Number three, you pick a date to start onboarding. And if you want to connect with us, here's some information about where to find us. We have our parent agency, North Shore Digital, and then Landscaper Marketing is where we're deep rooted into the green industry and some of the things we do. And there's information there about Wes's website. So LifeSpaceGardens.com and GardenWells.com. And you can check them out on Instagram at LifeSpace Gardens. I think that wraps things up quite nicely. I do appreciate everyone's time. And I hope it's been a very informative webinar. Wes, you've been fantastic. It's been very engaging. Love the setup, love your products, love your presentation. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
I'll pass the final word to you.
Oh, wow. Guys, I would just say this is probably, I would say two things. Growing your own food is not a trend. It is not growing your own food was the trend, right? And so, we're moving back to what is regular and what is natural and what is like deeply connected with who we are as human beings. And traditionally the garden is the heart of the community, and I think it's important for us to return to that. I think this year especially is going to be really, really important for more people to be growing their own food. And the more people that grow their own food, the better that tomorrow will be. So I encourage you guys to go out there. You got a lot of power and a lot of influence to do some really awesome things and change people's lives. And I hope this year is a year of abundance for all of you. And let's get growing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wes. And
thanks,
thank you,
Sasha.
everybody, for attending.
Thanks, Ira. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the Wednesday.